Hi, peeps. I'm Auriel Grace, and this is a spiritual show. So, tonight we're talking about karma. Yes, we are. Karma and like the balance of karma and renewal and all of that very fun stuff. So, this will be a fun show. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments because we're talking about karma. And a lot of people have questions about karma and what is karma? How do we create karma and all that other good stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about it, give you an idea of it so you can start thinking about how you interact in the world, right? So, first though, I wanted to let you know this book, the Kindle version of A Soul Group's Journey, is free right now on Amazon. So go find it, run over to Amazon and grab a copy. Okay. Remember to leave a review. This is the very first book that I wrote, and I updated it last year, I think, and gave it a new cover. But it's a great story, and it took me like 3 years to write this book. Yeah, it did. So go check it out. It's free on Amazon, the Kindle version. Okay. All right. So, and Angels, a Psychic Story is going to be free from 4:10 to 4:14. And if you want an appointment with me for $50 Friday, it's on the 18th. So please make your appointments for that. You can email me at agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com. Let's get a reading going on. All right. Okay. So some of you have been looking for my Clarity 101 blog. I had to redo the whole thing. It's still on the website. So if you click on Clarity 101, you will now see it. Yay. So it's been redone, and I update it every week with the show notes from the shows. Okay. That way you can read the stuff that I'm saying, because usually I'm saying it pretty much verbatim what I write. And tonight's show, some of the information is taken from the Clarity 101 books. All right. So the Psychic Story book, sorry. This is the Clearing with Purpose book, the Goo and Cooties book. This is the book that is right after I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic. And it talks a lot about, well, balancing karma. So this is it. All right. So for April, a lot of you, hey Dana, a lot of you had a horrible March. I'm so sorry. But April looks really good. Okay, it looks like a cool breeze blowing through the month. So it'll be a lot easier and a lot better for those things that got hung up in March, you may be able to accomplish them in April. Okay. Now, Mercury goes direct tomorrow. Is the 7th? Yeah, tomorrow's the 7th. Mercury goes direct tomorrow, and Venus will go direct on the 12th. So we'll start to see things start to move forward a little bit better. And, we'll get out of the fog that we've been in. So we can take a breath, examine our plans, our strategies, and start to move forward. Okay. So treat yourselves gently. Really be kind to yourselves. Okay. All right. So it is a great time to get organized. It's a great time to, finish your spring cleaning and get ready for spring. All right. All right. So I like to think of karma actually as like a woman, you know, because women and men too have many facets to themselves. But karma is like a gift. A lot of people think karma is is not really she doesn't give a lot, but she actually does. She gives us opportunities over and over again in each lifetime to learn, discover, and balance. All right. And so a lot of people say balance. I just say, you're good. A lot of people too think that, oh my God, I'm so much karma that I've created. We're always creating karma, no matter what we do. Right now, I'm creating karma. This show is what I call my community karma. My community karma to those people I am reaching out to those people that maybe I have heard in the past, in other lifetimes, whatever. And this is how I'm able to give back to them and balance out. So this is what I call community karma. And you can do community karma too. Just pick something that really resonates with you, some kind of volunteer stuff, and go do it. Go do it. Go do it from the kindness of your heart. And that's one way to like create balance in your life. That's one way to relieve some burdens from your life, right? So sincerity really helps with karmic stuff. Yeah. All right. So in Buddhism and Hinduism and some other religions, the force produced by a person's actions in one life that influences what happens to them in future lives. Hindus believe in karma, meaning they will answer for their actions, if not in this life, but in others. Okay, so that's from the Cambridge Dictionary. And so, these are questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about karma and you're thinking about how you move in the world. So, what energy or action are you pulling out into the world? Are you putting out into the world? What do you tell yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Okay? Because all of us do, we all talk to ourselves. I talk to myself all the time. Um, So karma is energy, like I said. It is how we present ourselves to the world. It's how we present ourselves to ourselves. And this is why I always say keep your heart open and aligned with the energy of love. Because when you are aligned with the energy of love, you're doing good things. You're rocking it, right? Because you're doing things from the love of your heart and kindness and compassion. Okay. So a lot of people look at karma as like punishment, sin. They look at it as revenge, but it's not. It is not that. It is just energy. It is what we put out into the world and how we present ourselves. All right. Okay. So our guilt is the burden that we carry. And sometimes we carry it from lifetime to lifetime, right? We do. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're so heavy. Well, you're heavy because you're carrying around all your crap, your guilt, what you feel bad about, how you feel. So it is not punishment. It is not a sin. Um, it is not revenge. It's energy. It's what you create and how you create it. So, what have you done in this life that requires punishment? This is a question that you need to ask yourself. What have you done that requires reward? Why do humans think this way? I think we think this way because, we've been taught over and over again in each lifetime how we should be. Hmm. So, as children, we are taught to be good or mind your manners. We are taught to be the best at what we choose to do. So, did you know that having good manners means that you're respecting yourself and others? You're showing other people respect. And so it's always good to have good manners. When you have good manners, you get more things done, right? You do. And it creates what? Goodness. And so that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at like creating good in the world. Because right now there's just so much turmoil, right? There is so much stuff going on. And so how do we create good? How do we make it to where things are better in this lifetime? And that is a question that you need to ask yourself. How can we make good, right? So, what I'm saying is, karma is a constant energy flowing all around us. It is what we make of our lives and how we live our lives. We bring in our karma from previous lives. We do. We bring it in from previous lives. And so you may find that as a child, you have like certain beliefs or certain thoughts that happen, and people wonder about that. They're like, why do you think like that? And it's because we're bringing in our beliefs in each lifetime. And we're really close to those beliefs as children. We really remember things as children. We may not remember it exactly, but we remember the emotion and the energy of it. And so when you think about like karmic stuff, think about your life. How has it presented itself and how have you lived your life? You know? So it doesn't mean that we give up stuff that we like. It doesn't mean that we punish ourselves. Punishing yourself doesn't help at all. I've known a lot of people that will do that. They will punish themselves for making a mistake, or they will punish themselves for um like thinking that they've embarrassed themselves or something like that. And don't do that. Don't even bother with it. It's a wasted energy and effect, and it only hurts you and maybe even people that you are connected to, and you don't want to do that. So there's lots of sides to karma. A lot of people are like, oh, well, that bad person will come back as an ant. Somebody will step on it. Maybe, but not likely. So, um, so this is what I ask people to do when they are taking my classes. And in this book, it's some of the homework that's in this book. If you follow the homework in this book, by the time you get through doing all of the work in this book, you will feel a lot better. You will. So, um, once we realize we don't need to punish ourselves, and we realize that, we can relax and maybe enjoy our lives, we start to feel a lot lighter and brighter and not allowing stuff to weigh on us. All right. So, when I do like readings or when I'm doing accountability sessions, I'm talking people through what they need to release in order to obtain their goals. And so there is some balance of karma during that time. When you discuss things with people, like you're thinking about things, and maybe you have a counselor or somebody that you speak to work out problems, that is really good, because then you can see what's going on and how you can achieve your goals in a good way. hmm Okay, so we do live in a very challenging world, and we're taught, to achieve. And sometimes people achieve things in not very nice ways. And so think about how you have achieved some of the things that you have. And if there are things that have happened that maybe you are ashamed of, you're afraid of, you don't like about yourself, and that we'll talk about a way to help you with that. So remember that we're not competing here. We don't need to compete. All of us have our own like gifts that we can give out into the world. Pushing your way into something may end up not being the thing that you truly want and desire. And so remember that as you're going through life, right? A lot of young people are really worried about their karma. You're too young to worry. Don't worry about your karma. Be good. If you're good and you do good things, you don't have a need to worry about it. All right? Life should not be exhausting. It should not be fearful. It should not be angry or stressful. All right? Life is life, just as karma is karma, right? All right. All right. So, this is something that you can do for yourself that can really help you. And I've talked about this before, but tonight I'm going to talk about it again. So, one of the things that you can do is you can start a timeline from your very first memory. What was your very first memory? Write it down, the date, approximate date, and start a timeline of your life up until the point where you are now. And I know it'll take up a book. Um, I used a composition book and I actually did it in decades. So that way I could go through, and what you do is maybe you write from your very first memory until 10 years old. Write down the things that you remember, those highlights, or those moments where you were uncertain, or maybe you were afraid or angry, and maybe you spoke out of turn. Things that embarrass you, things that make you angry, things like that. Write it down. And with each event, as you're writing, go through and look at that event, because each event in our life carries energy. Because what? We're energetic beings walking around in a skin suit. So as we react, because we will react. Hi, Iris. When we react to things, that's when we are creating that imbalance. So watch for that. Watch yourself as you move through your day, how you interact and react to people. So we want to create balance. We want to smooth the way. Remember, you can get more being nice than you can being nasty. All right, nasty people don't really get a lot, and then they stay really angry. What are they creating? Stuff to make up for karma. So as you're drawing out your timeline, go through and forgive yourself of those things that you feel uneasy about within yourself. Forgive yourself. It's okay to do that. And as you forgive each time, you're pushing that energy away from you, out. Push it out and away from you, and keep pushing until you can't feel it anymore. So each time you forgive yourself, you're pushing out those burdens that you've been carrying around with you and maybe have been holding you like this, you know, and you're unable to do the things that you really want to do. Or maybe you don't even know about the things that you really want to do, right? Because you're so much like this. So we want to open you up so that your energy is open and it's beautiful and it's sparkling. And so you want to do that, right? Because the more you forgive, the more your heart aligns with things and the more you can feel that heart energy moving. Okay. So, and it'll take a while. Don't do it. Don't think you can do it all in one night, because you can't. It's going to take a while to do it, but that's okay. Like, are you on a time crunch? No. So, and it does help with karma as you go through your timeline, because you're balancing karma with yourself. You're balancing it out. You're releasing old stuff that no longer serves you, and it helps you become more active in your life. It helps you be less dependent on other people. You become more independent and you become more yourself. Like, who are you? What do you want? These are questions that I ask people all the time. It always startles them. But if you say that to somebody, if you say to yourself, even, who am I and what do I want? And how do I want it? And how am I going to achieve it? Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about karmic stuff, some more karmic in depth stuff from past lives. All right. So in other lifetimes, you might have taken vows of obedience, vows of silence, vows of celibacy, vows of charity, like poverty. And because each of us have been around the block, we've all experienced different lifetimes. And if we have like been a priest, we've been a nun, we've been priestess, we've been a spiritual religious leader or part of a group that was leading, then we have taken vows. And sometimes when we take those vows, they kind of like push on us. So we want to release those vows. So those of you who like have done everything that you can to come out of poverty and you just haven't been able to achieve it, ask yourself, like, is this something that I've done to myself? Is this a vow that I've taken? And if you feel like you've taken those vows, just release them. I release you. Let it go. I choose a different way. Because those vows, when we make them, they're like forever vows. And sometimes when we come in to this life and we have like unrequited love and we've created a vow to someone for unrequited love, then what are we doing? We're bringing that into this lifetime and we never find that person and we go throughout the whole lifetime with a broken heart. That's no good either. Release the vow. So we want to make sure that, because those vows, everyone has taken them. Everyone's taken them. We all need to release them so that we can start to move above what we feel like we haven't been able to achieve. And that also balances out karma because you're releasing something that is a burden to you. And maybe it wasn't a burden to you when you took the vow, but now in this life and the life from beforehand, it can change your life in a big way. So make sure, think about your life. Did you take a vow of obedience? Is that why you haven't been able to break free of like feelings of doing wrong? Have you taken a vow of poverty? Is that the reason why you can't move above what monetarily, what you thought you might have been able to do? Have you taken a vow of celibacy? Is that why you are afraid of having a relationship? See, it's all really kind of serious, right? And so we want to make sure that we can live a good life. Okay. So remember, not everyone thinks or feels or does the same thing you do. So when you're thinking of someone else and how they react to you and interact with you, they're not you. You are an individual person. Okay. And so when you're like reacting or when someone's reacting to you and you're like, oh my God, that's not how I would do it, that's because they are not you. So when you're thinking of people and doing plans and connecting with people, not everyone will see life as you do. Not everyone will enjoy life as you do. And it's okay. Otherwise, we would be really boring, right? If we were all the same. That's boring. So remember that as you're moving around in the world, not everyone is going to be kind or good or have the same plans that you do or want the same things that you also want. And when you interact with people, remember that have respect for those people and their ideas and what they want and desire, even if it's not something that you want and desire. Right? We're going into a time right now, where there's going to be people protesting and there's going to be restructuring and there's going to be like this is like history in the making right now. And if we want to help change things in our areas and around the United States or even in different countries, what are we going to do about that? There are a lot of things that we can do. And so one one senator, I think he was a senator, spoke for 25 hours in the House. 25 hours. That's pretty amazing. But he stood there and he spoke for that long. That's how he protested. That's how he presented himself. And so we are in a historic time. It's going to be an amazing time. And it depends on how people react and interact with each other in order to get things going, cohesive, right? Balancing karma. So people say, why is our president the president that it is now? Think about all the things that need to change. No, I don't align with him. But there are a lot of changes that need to happen. There are. And so remember that as you're going around in the world. I'm just using that as an example. But as you react and interact with the world, so that you're always staying balanced. You speak your truth, what is within you. Don't be afraid to speak your truth because that is your power. That's what empowers you, right? And we can learn how to speak without like having a fit and throwing things around and acting like a lunatic. We can learn ease and grace and keep the balance. Do good for others and do good for yourself. It's an equal exchange of energy, right? That's what karma is. So, how are you going to present yourself to the world? What do you want to look like? How does it make you feel? All right. So, clearing your life, going through, write your timeline. And as you start writing your timeline, you're going to start because some people go, "Well, I don't remember anything." But as you start breaking down your timeline, you will find that you start remembering things. Like things will go ping pong, and they will pong around, and you will be able to put things in concise order so that you can look at your life and see where you were as a child, how you believed, what it was like, and as you grew older and what you wanted to do in this life. And a lot of people, a lot of my professional friends are like, I would never be a wife and a housewife and a mother. That is like, and I'm like, good. That's okay. Because being a mom and a housewife is that's a whole different thing. And it's a gift to be given. Somebody who keeps a house and takes care of the children, rock on. That in itself is a whole life, which is awesome. So don't be afraid. And I'm using that as an example. Do not be afraid of who you want to be Instead, go do it. Be that person. Maybe you want to dye people's hair purple and put feathers in it, and that's your career. Go do it. If it brings you peace and happiness, do that. If you want to be a politician, do that. Do that. Because we need to be truthful with ourselves before we can actually go out into the world and be truthful with the world. And so, by exploring your past and bringing yourself to the present, forgiving the stuff that no longer serves you, that never served you, will help you so much. And it will bring you back to your core, back to presence, so that you can be truthful with yourself. Right? Okay. And I'll tell you, like, make sure if you're going to do your timeline to help yourself, get a couple composition books. You're going to need them because, like I said, you will start remembering things. It's amazing what you can remember. My first memory was I was a small child. I think I was 3 years old, and I was watching my father build a model like pirate ship. And my mom was like, there's no way you could remember that because you were too small. And I was like, I remember it. I remember him sitting the model on the coffee table, and he was building this, this model pirate ship. It was awesome. It had sails and everything. It was really cool. That is my first memory. So, what is your first memory? Might be interesting. Think about that. When you start remembering, you'll remember so many other things. You'll be like, oh my God, that's right. That happened. Holy cow. And it will bring you joy too, as well as clearing. So, and that's what we want. We want to remember those joyous, wondrous memories that we have and not just focus on the bad ones. Because focusing on the bad ones doesn't help us move forward, and it doesn't keep that karma balanced. We want to keep doing that, right? Balance it out. Okay. All right. So once we start feeling good and we're clearing, once we start to clear, we start to feel rejuvenated. We start to feel more energy. We start to feel like we can do more things and enjoy our life more. And that's when you get to that turning point. And that's why this is such a good time of year to do this, because we're going into spring. And what is spring? What is spring about? Rejuvenation. It's about rebirthing. It's about new life. And so doing this during the springtime is a great time because you'll be inspired for that. You'll be inspired for that renewal, that feeling refreshed and invigorated. So let go of all the goo and cooties. Let go of that which does not serve you and move forward so that you can balance out those scales and you can feel a lot better. And for those of you who are really young that have been watching my numerology videos and are stressed out because maybe you created some karma, think about how you present yourselves in a good way, in the best way. All right? Don't be mean. Mind your manners and be good. All right. So, do you have any questions? I'll look and see. And next week, I think we're talking about sacred waters. We're talking about sacred waters. So, I'm going to have some information from sacred waters all over the United States that hopefully maybe you could go visit, or you can sometimes order sacred water. Weird, huh? But yes, so that you can have that and you can visit those places of sacredness. And we're going to do a water blessing too. So make sure to have a cup of water with you so that because we're all going to do a water blessing. It'll be really fun and you'll like it. And the water tastes different when you bless it. It does. And you can bless your food too. So we're going to learn that next week. It'll be very fun for us. All right. So that's what I've got here for you about karma. And remember, tomorrow the blog will go up with this video and you can check that out. And if you want to start clearing, check out the Clarity with Purpose, the Goon Cooties book. It has all kinds of fun homework in there that you'll like to do. It's not anything hard at all or scary. All right. So have an awesome week. Stay safe. And remember, keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.